Welcome to Rubber Duck Off-Road Garage. My name is Grant, and today we are going to be changing the oil in the 2021 Jeep Gladiator EcoDiesel. It's second oil change. It's at 10,000 miles, so I'm also going to be changing the fuel filters. Before we get into that, if you like the videos, please subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up and hit the notification button so you get notified whenever I upload a video. And to get started with this, I have the oil, which is 9 quarts because it's the EcoDiesel, so it takes 9 quarts. I get the Mopar oil just because it's still under warranty, so I'm just going to use the Mopar stuff, and this day and age all freaking oil is expensive. So I've also got a fuel filter here. I'll put all the part numbers in the description below when I'm done. And then I have my oil filter, which if anybody has one of these and's done an oil change, they know that comes with the brand new cap and all that. Then you're going to need a 10mm socket, a 1/2 inch socket, and a 27mm to take off your oil filter cap. And I'm not sure if this is the same for the fuel filter, but I will find out and I'll let you know. So the first thing I'm going to do is crawl underneath the Jeep here and get the oil draining and then move on from there. So let's get to that. Oh, and you'll need an oil catch pan. There she is. Well, that does its thing. We'll go back up top and we'll crack the lid on the oil filter. We'll go ahead and crack the lid on the oil filter, which is over here on the driver's side, down underneath the hose here for the air box. It's right down there. So we're not going to remove that lid right now. We're just going to crack it loose. Oh, I don't know if I have a good place to put the camera while I do this, but I'll do my best. Alright, well, I guess that's going to be as good as it gets. Okay, so I got the cap all loose. It's ready to come out. I'm gonna try to get something down in there to catch any oil if any drips down. That way it doesn't drip too far down in there, because it's a cartridge filter, so when you pull them out, sometimes they like to drizzle all over the place. So I'm gonna take some rags and stick them down in there. It's pretty much done draining underneath. So I'm just gonna grab a few rags and pull that thing out. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Old shirt. We'll stick this down in there, and hopefully if any oil leaks out, it doesn't leak all over the everything else down there. It's a bit of a tight little spot. You got your steering linkage, and it looks like your AC pumps down there. So I'm going to try to stick this old shirt down underneath everything, or on top of all that, and get it underneath this cap, so when I pull it out, it catches anything. I think it's going to be about as good as it gets. So let's see what we can do here. Let's pull this cap out now. Alright. We're dripping a little bit. It's not too bad. So there's the old filter there. We'll set this down right here, up like that, so it doesn't leak anymore. Come back over here and wipe off where we did spill. Now what I like to do is I like to clean out the housing there where the oil was at. Just take rags and soak up as much of it as I can. So I'm going to get some rags, clean that out, and then we'll get back to putting the filter in and putting oil in her. Okay, so I got that all cleaned up. So now I'm going to take the new oil filter, nice and shiny, and I'm going to get some oil off of this, the old one, and put it on these rubber O-rings to kind of help everything seat nice and smooth. See how it comes with a whole new cap and all that? It's kind of nifty. So on the cap it also says torque to 25 Newton meters. So we'll get this screwed back down in there. You can see how cleaned out I got it. So we're going to put this back down in. And then we're going to just start threading it on down, and then we'll torque it when we're all finished. So I'll get that threaded on, and then we'll torque it, and we'll move underneath to put the plug back in, and then we'll add oil. Alright, so the oil filter and cap are back on and torqued to 25 Newton meters or 18.4 something foot-pounds. So I did right around like 18.5 foot-pounds, which should be roughly 25 Newton meters, pretty close to that anyway. So now let's get back underneath and put our drain plug back in, and then we can start adding our oil back up in this thing. I got a rag here in my pocket. The lubricating juice. I don't know if anybody's ever been underneath one of these, but this is all your emissions stuff here for your exhaust. You got your, I think that's your I think that's part of the DPF, but you got, I think this is your cat here, and then you got your injectors for your DEF fluid, and yeah, all kinds of O2 sensors everywhere, all kinds of crap on these new diesels, which, you know, luckily enough, I haven't had any issues with the DEF or the catalyst or any of the crap on this. I mean, I know I only got 10,000 miles, but we have a Grand Cherokee EcoDiesel that has over 100,000 miles on it, and the only issue we've had with it is I've had to replace a thermostat, and we had to take it in to have the EGR cooler replaced, and that wasn't due to anything that we did. That was a recall on it. So all in all, I can't complain too much, because even this, the 10,000 miles that I've put on it, I love it. I mean, it's with the 35-inch tires and the speedometer and all that recalibrated, I'm getting, if I'm doing, you know, 50, 55 miles an hour, I'm getting like 25, 26 miles per gallon. So I can't complain too much. So let's go ahead and, whoa, drop the camera here. Let's get this plug back in. I'll wipe that off. I would like to probably invest in some better skid plates than factory, but that'll be later on. I got something else I just purchased today for overlanding adventures that I'll be doing a video on later on. So for now, it's going to be this way. But this thing, I'm not going to go too crazy wheeling this thing, because this is going to be more of a family camping rig for everybody. So now that that's done, we're going to scoot on out and put the oil. I'm going to leave the oil catch pan underneath here, because I'm going to need it for the fuel filter. That's up next. So I'm going to go ahead and dump these 9 quarts in there, and we'll move on to doing the fuel filter. Alright, so the oil's all done, hood's all closed, everything's ready to go on that. Now we're going to jump down underneath here and take a look at the fuel filter. Better yet, let's open up the new fuel filter and see what we got here. Yep, we got the fuel filter and the new O-ring. So we'll go ahead and climb down underneath there and see what we can do to get this off. I'm not sure if that 27mm is the same. I know on my wife's Grand Cherokee it has dual fuel filters, and the cap for those is the same as the cap for the oil. So we'll see. Alright. So there it is right there. So we got to take off the skid plate, which is the round thing here. So we're going to go ahead and take these 3 10mm bolts. There's one back here too. So you got 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a third one back here somewhere. There it is right there. So we'll go ahead and get started on taking those out. This is when I wish I had a lift. Then again, if I had a lift, I'd probably get lazy. That's quite the little bolt there. On. And there she is. So I know you're all probably noticing that I'm wearing gloves now, and I wasn't wearing gloves when I did the oil. Well, that's because to me the oil isn't that bad, but with diesel fuel it stinks. So I put gloves on because it's diesel fuel. So we're gonna go ahead and move our oil catch over here. What I'm going to do is pull my cardboard back a little bit because I don't want to put that oil on there. So we're going to have to readjust. There we go. Guys over here. We're gonna slide that pan over here. And we're gonna check to see if that cap uses the same. Nope, it's bigger. Well, make it happen. So I'm going to start letting the water drain. So you got to undo this little valve here, which will let the water start draining out, and whatever bit of fuel is in there and while that drains, I will go see if I have a socket that'll fit that. Okay, so as you can see, the fluid is all done draining out of there, and all I have that fits somewhat is 1 1/8 inches. So I'm going to give that a shot. It seems to work. Alright, now we're going to pull that thing down and out of there. Ooh. Goodness. Stinky. Love the smell of diesel fuel in the morning. Oh, lovely. Well, we're gonna have to clean that off now. It's all slippery, so I'll get, well, we'll just set that aside there, right there. I'll pull this old filter out. I don't know why the filter didn't come out with the cap, because that's normally how they come out, but there we go. Doesn't look too bad. I've definitely seen worse. Well, I'll go ahead and get the cap cleaned up and the new one in it, and then we'll go ahead and put her in. Alright, so there's the new filter and the new O-ring. I put a little bit of oil on the O-ring to help it slip in. So you gotta look at these two slots on the top here. They actually line up on this little tongue here, which tells you if you need to drain your water or not. I'm pretty sure that's what that sensor's for. So if you look, it snaps in, but it also turns. So you gotta line that up, put it up in there, and then start turning it and make sure it stays lined up. It should reach up there to hold it in place. There you go. And there you have it. Now put your skid plate back on and you're done. So I'll get that all wrapped up and we'll go from there. Alright, so the last thing you're going to want to do is prime your fuel filter. So in order to do this, you just want to come inside your Jeep and you want to hit your start button twice without your foot on the brake, just so it goes into run but it doesn't start. So you're going to hit that twice and you'll be able to hear the fuel being pumped through the system. So you're going to want to do that probably 5, maybe 10 times to make sure you get enough fuel in there, because if you don't and you try to start it, it's going to pump air into the system, so it might not fire up right and it might feel a little funky. So I'd say do it 10 times just to make sure. You should be able to hear a change in the fuel pump, the way it sounds when it starts pushing more, getting enough fuel in there to pressurize. But I would just say do it 10 times, maybe more if you feel like it. And then go ahead and put your foot on the brake and push your start button and see if it starts. So I've already done mine. So now I'm going to put my foot on the brake. I'm going to hit my start button. And there you go. Took a little bit longer than normal, but I think that'll work out. It's probably getting a little bit of air out of its system, but it is running and we should be good to go. So that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up and all that, and thanks for watching.